It's interesting how often we will work with organizations or even just having conversations, and we'll ask the question, hey, what is your fear telling you about this?
Right.
Well, my fear's not telling me anything. I'm not afraid.
Right.
But then you dig it down and really get underneath everything, and they are afraid. Hey everybody, welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. We should put that on your business card, partner in podcasting. Emily Grace Deal, what are we talking about today?
As leaders, we take action.
Yes, we love good action, don't we?
But what's behind those actions matters.
Yes.
If we are acting because we are afraid, the fear will just create more fear.
Yeah.
So what can be an antidote for fear?
Yeah, because I love the way this is kind of laid out, because ultimately what is behind the action is what we're going to create. If I walk in and I say, we've got to do this new initiative, and there's fear behind that. We got to do this new initiative because I'm afraid that if we don't do it, something bad's going to happen. That is going to freak y'all out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It is going to create more fear.
Yeah.
Because whatever we are operating in is what we create more of. And so we've got to figure that out, because fear ultimately motivates, but in a pretty negative, unsustainable way. I was having this conversation with a leader one day. She said, yeah, but fear seems to work. And I'm like, yeah, short term, it really does. And that's the hard part about it. That's the trap of fear.
Yeah.
Is short term, it does get us moving and it gets things done. Long term, it's unsustainable, because if I show up to work afraid every day, there's going to be a time where I just don't want to show up to work anymore.
Right. That can't be
It
long
does
standing.
not
Like
work.
there's no
No.
sustainability in that.
Yes, and so if we act out of fear, we're going to create more fear. What we should act out of is belief. What do we believe is possible? And I think the distinction here is really interesting, because the actions can look exactly the same. The action looks the same, but the fear or the belief that's underneath it is what changes how it's delivered, probably,
Yeah.
and how it's received. So if we go in and say, hey, we need to do this new thing, or where this originally came up, I've got an organization we're working with that the owner is always pushing higher sales, right? Pushing higher sales is not bad. Like, you need that person usually that says, hey, we can do more. But is it, I'm pushing higher sales because I'm afraid of what's going to happen if we don't sell more? People feel that fear. There is almost no masking it, right? We think we're good at covering it up. We're really not. But that ability to say, hey, I think we can do more sales this month. You guys have this. Y'all have the ability to make this happen. I believe we're going to have everything it takes to create these new sales, and I'm excited about it.
Right. That makes you more fired up to go out there and get it.
Wildly
Yeah.
different, right? And that's what we're talking about. The action is the same. The action is a push for more sales. That's not a bad thing.
Right.
Is it because we're afraid, or because we believe better is possible? And again, I think, like everything we talk about, this goes back to how healthy we are. When we're healthy, we do have deeper belief. We are more optimistic.
We're able to make that distinction between belief and fear.
We really are. We're able to maybe even recognize when we are afraid.
Yeah.
Because I think often, it's interesting how often we will work with organizations or even just having conversations, and we'll ask the question, hey, what is your fear telling you about this?
Right.
Well, my fear's not telling me anything. I'm not afraid.
Right.
But then you dig it down and really get underneath everything, and they are afraid. And that's hard for us to talk about.
Yeah, because if you haven't identified it even, then it's really hard to even
Yes.
see whenever it's happening or when it comes out.
Yeah, and so I think the healthier we are, the easier it genuinely is to recognize that we're afraid, and recognize that as leaders, that fear might be spreading.
Yeah.
And I think the other side of this is understanding, like, we always talk about the weight a leader has. We bear a lot of weight. We also give a lot of weight. Like, every word we say matters. You can't flippantly make fun of somebody, because that is going to wreck their life.
Yeah, it's
right?
important.
Yeah, it is. And we can't walk in and suddenly just bring fear, because we don't see it as being that big of a deal. then you got people that are genuinely scared.
Yes. And you got a lot of scared people running around. That's not a recipe good for anything.
And a lot of scared people who, by the way, are probably going, it's okay, I'm not afraid. I've got this figured out, right? Like, that's a recipe for disaster.
Well, that's the environment you set up, too.
It's what you've created, right? And so I think this really is, again, it's one of those incredibly simple things that we are probably not great at. And I genuinely believe the antidote to fear, it's belief, it's hope. It's belief that better is possible, that we are capable of new things. And so I think that's the thing that we're after is that belief, and it comes from health. It really does. This idea for leaders, I think, is life-changing. So leaders, let's talk next steps. Really start to recognize what is driving your actions. Do an inventory. I took these actions today. Was I afraid at any point? Was fear causing that action because it probably created more fear? Or am I doing it out of belief? So when we feel the need to take action, just pause and go, okay, am I doing this because I'm afraid or because I believe we can do this? Because that small distinction will absolutely make a difference for your teams in what it creates. It will either create more fear or it will create more belief, which is where you're really, really going to find success. So pause, take that inventory, make sure you're healthy enough to really recognize that and be intentional about it. It's going to absolutely change things for you and your team. Absolutely love this subject. If people want to send us questions, if they want to send us thoughts, where do they send that to
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. If they want to find us on socials, we are all over LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Where are they going to find that?
@forwardpartner.
@forwardpartner. People are going to notice something different next time they watch an episode. This is episode 144, and I'm not sure. We launched this in, I think, April of 2023.
Yeah, I think so.
We've recorded an insane amount of episodes for that short amount of time. And I know they're short form, but it is so much work.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the idea we do 20 in a day. This is our 7th recording. Every one of those episodes has been recorded in this building. Not all in this specific studio space, but in this building.
Right.
Studio's changing. Studio's moving. That is exciting. I know for John Porchlight Productions over here, he is pumped out of his mind about having a new studio. We're super excited about it. A little sad. Like, we've been through a lot in the last
144 episodes.
We have talked a lot. We've had a lot of fun doing it. We've gotten a ton of great feedback from people. We've had a great impact with this. And so we're a little nostalgic, and we're a little sad that we won't ever be in this studio again, probably never in this building again doing this work. This is where all of it was born. And I think it's funny if you go back and look at the first episode. I'm really proud that, like, from episode 1, we kind of had the rhythm down. We kind of knew what we were going to do, and we're really proud.
It's improved.
Well, the quality has improved. I think the rhythm and the thoughts were like, it's exactly what we're doing right now. The interaction was what we envisioned. The quality has improved a lot.
Well, actually, we joked originally that we'd look back and we'd be like, "Oh my gosh, these are the episodes we put out." But I actually look back and I like them still.
They're really pretty great. Like, there's some good stuff in there. So I would encourage you to go through the back catalog. We got 144 episodes for you to look at, and dig into some of that. And we've had multiple producers over time. We are locked in with John Porchlight Productions, Vineyard, and we are so excited to keep doing this in the future. But we just want to let you know, we want to take a moment, kind of reminisce a little bit, because it has been quite the journey. It's a ton of work, but also a lot of fun, and it's going to look very different next time. We cannot wait to show you the new studio. This will be our last time here at Wilco Workspaces, here in the studio. Next time, we're going to be at the Porchlight Production Studios. We cannot wait. So we will see you next time in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.